What's going on, everybody? Today we're going to cover everything within Season 5 to the new weapons, the portal attachments, the meta change for the weapon shift, and the blatant discredit and ignorance of kind of what the developers are ignoring from most of the player base from when we talk about what quote-unquote a transport vehicle should be. So anyways, getting into the content itself, which there's very little of, which we kind of already expected, but they gave us 3 new weapons, the portal attachments for some of the weapons, still waiting on the SMGs, sidearms, and LMGs. Only the ARs and the DMRs have gotten All Out Warfare attachments for them. And the transport vehicles, which now the Jeep has a 20 mil flat cannon on it, and the transport helicopter, so the Hind and the Condor, now been renamed in the vehicle pool as gunship, meaning that they refuse to make this thing fair play as a transport vehicle and not going to remove the front turret, which is what it seems like to me. So don't think that's the right move. But anyways, going into the content itself, the battle pass was very lackluster this season. There are only a handful of skins, character models that look okay. Everything else was just kind of like meh. Why pay for it? You know what I mean? So if you're a cosmetic guy and you like it regardless of the fact, go for it. But outside of that, I don't think it's really worth the $10 to buy the battle pass for Season 5 if you guys are still kind of behind, coming in about a month or so in. With the weapon changes, so the interesting thing is, the problem that a lot of people have been having is getting beamed across the map with all the weapons, right? There's very little bloom, very little spread, very little recoil spread increase per shot, right? So they did this with the ARs. They gave them a dispersion, which now they have either, you know, quote unquote bloom, and it goes all the way up to 20%, and then some of the weapons got a fix to reduce that, and others got an increase to up to 29% dispersion at full auto after half the mag has been expended. So not going to go through all those weapons there. That you can catch up on the patch notes if you guys haven't read them for the specific weapons. Overall, just realize that the assault rifles definitely got hit really hard the last patch that we got. So that just makes the LMGs and SMGs stand out way more than they already were, which brings out the major issue of everyone is running LMGs or the Bison, and the RM68 is still fairly viable. And some of the ARs are okay, but they just don't hold a candle to the LMGs when they are still, in fact, 200-round assault rifles with no spread. So everyone, you know, people come in the chat and tell me, oh, the LMGs aren't that good. You know, I don't see too many people using them. I'm telling you, I still die to Avantis, RPTs all the time. I'm seeing a lot of Bisons, a lot of RMs still. Some, you know, the top meta picks are the guns that are good because, you know, most of the average players or the new guys coming in are going to ask us, the streamers and the people who are making content, are like, what weapon should I run? What should I do? Should I use this? Should I use that? And I give them a list, and it's like, run these if you want to have like an okay time and not have to deal with your bullets just kind of flying out in random aspects of the space on the map. So that is my biggest complaint with this is, you know, I was mainly an AR guy after they hard nerfed my sniper into the ground. So now that I can't play aggressive sniper anymore and I don't want to run SMGs all the time because that gets boring after a while running the same 3 SMGs. That's why I try to keep my weapon pool diverse, and that way I can play longer without getting bored right away at this point. So ARs got super nerfed for me. Well, now it's less fun to run around because you're losing gunfights that you shouldn't have because of X, Y, and Z reasons. But bottom line is everyone's running LMGs, so now I have to deal with tap firing or hopefully landing my shots if I run it full auto. So that's my biggest complaint. Outside of that, the move to dispersion is in the right direction, but LMGs still haven't been touched. I don't know why, please. So that needs to be looked at. I'm hoping soon that they kind of take a look at those and rebalance them, or at least make them have some sort of spread to give the gunplay a fair balance, because right now it's just absurd. The amount of bipods I'm seeing, people laying down with ACOG sights on them, no recoil, just getting beamed at 150 meters. It's kind of getting silly at this point. And that's okay. I understand switching the meta, making things balanced, making it a little more fair to people so they don't die from across the map or have no idea where they see this guy. They're just like, I can't see where I'm getting shot from, this and that. Yeah, I get it. From a balance perspective, for the majority of the players, it makes total sense to make these weapons less accurate, make things inaccurate, and give people more of a fighting chance to kind of either reset or have a fair fight. So that's cool, I get it. But these LMGs are driving me insane. That's all I'm going to say about this before I go on this rant all day. Everything else that's going on with the Season 5, we still haven't heard from Hourglass. Okay, we got a snippet of what the map's supposed to look like. Still haven't seen it. So who knows when we're going to get that rework. Which, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really care. I would much prefer to have more maps than a rework of a bottom barrel abomination of a map with no cover, BME type existence. It just should have been scrapped and just made more maps. That honestly, they should have just given us at least 2 maps per season and then rework these things towards the end so we could have more content and things to work on. Since they've seen the newer maps, if you guys have noticed a trend, all the new maps that have come out have been significantly better than the base maps, right? That's because they realize, oh man, we messed up. And so they've given us better maps that play better, have more cover, less open fields, this and that. Now, there's still issues with all the maps, right? There's some things they can always fix, but as a base with the new maps that have come out, I've had very little issues or seen very significantly less major flaws in the design. So Hourglass, who knows when it's coming? I have no clue. I've been asked multiple times about, but I haven't heard anything. So I'll be interested to see what it looks like. But at the end of the day, I don't care for Hourglass. So the last thing that got changed recently was the Nightbird camera got moved to where it free flows. It's not attached to the fuselage anymore. It actually free flows on the camera when you go third person, which is actually pretty cool. To me, it flows a little better. It makes more sense. And then the DMRs just got the All Out Warfare attachments for them, and I will tell you right now, DMRs are in, okay? Specifically the M39. And unfortunately, my shadow play wasn't running yesterday when I was using it. I'll try to get some more clips and give an update with that later. But the thing is insane within 40 meters, and then even outside of that, it hits like a truck. And because on controller, you guys all have 25% less recoil across the board, that includes first shot multiplier. And so you guys have less vertical bounce than I do with this thing, and you guys can beam people from 100 meters with almost no issues. For the guys who are experienced players, right? New guys are still going to struggle with this thing, but once they start to get the hang of it, it's fairly easy, and it's pretty funny. So overall, Season 5, I think, and a lot of us can agree on this, has been the least fun content-packed season so far that they've come out with. I think it was just kind of lazily thrown out there. They gave us a couple new weapons and then reworked one map, which still hasn't come out, and gave us another map, right? So it's just the same theme of one map per season. It's just like just not enough. People get bored within a couple of days and even a week at most from what I've seen. So that's all I got for you guys. Hopefully this was enough information for you guys to kind of decide. I get this question all the time. It's like, hey, is the game worth it now? It's on sale for $15. Should I buy it? This and that. I'm like, listen, man, if I'm being honest, this game is maybe worth $15 at max, which is saying a lot because, you know, BattleBit's out there. And that's a fun side game to play, but don't get it twisted. It's not going to replace anything. It'll be here for a little while, and they launched that at an appropriate time when all these AAA developer games are just kind of lacking. So it is a fun little side piece, good gunplay, all that stuff. That's my only side piece for BattleBit because I get asked a lot if I played it as well. So, but outside of that, if the game is worth $15, I'm gonna leave it up to you. My honest answer is it's 50-50. You know, so give it a shot if you want, or don't, or you can get it on the EA Pass for less than that. And then if you really like it, you can buy it, but please don't ever pay full price for this game. I'm still gonna preach this all day, every day. This game is not worth $60, let alone the $100 that I paid, right? Okay, so just do yourself a favor. Dodge the bullet. If you really want to give it a try and you're interested to play something else because you're coming from COD or some other game or other shooter, you're just bored with Diablo for some reason, and you're trying to find a shooter to kill some time with, by all means. But I'm not going to preach and say that this is the greatest game ever. It still needs a lot of work, and I don't see it ever getting up to the standard that it should have been. In my view, and probably a lot of other content creators' views. So we're just kind of biding our time until the next title comes out. So that'll be interesting to see. That one is coming out with a single player and a multiplayer. So for the single player guys out there, hopefully it's something to look forward to in maybe the next year and a half, 2 years. I'm just going to tell you that it's going to take at least that. I don't expect this game to come out anytime soon. Not at all this year, and not anytime soon next year. So with all that, if you guys have any other questions for me, let me know in the comments below, and I'll try to get back as soon as I can. Apologies for being a little backed up on my content for YouTube specifically. I've been busy with work and kids and all that stuff. So, but now that everything's starting to slow down again, I'll be back on here trying to make as much content as I can for you guys. So until next one, guys, see you.